In most places on Earth, night always comes. The sun sets, darkness falls, and the world slows down. But in parts of Scandinavia, summer rewrites that rule completely. Above the Arctic Circle, the sun simply refuses to disappear. At midnight, the sky glows with soft golden light. Shadows stretch across quiet landscapes, and time begins to feel strangely unreal. This is known as the midnight sun, a natural phenomenon that turns night into an endless sunset, and experiencing it in person feels unlike anything else on Earth. During summer, regions of Norway, Sweden, and Finland remain bathed in daylight for weeks. Instead of darkness, the sun hovers near the horizon, casting warm tones across mountains, coastlines, and open wilderness. The air feels calm, the light feels gentle, and the world seems to pause. At first, your body doesn't know how to react. Midnight arrives, but it looks like early evening. Your watch says it's time to sleep. The sky says otherwise. Many travelers describe a strange feeling of freedom. Without darkness, the usual rhythm of time disappears. You hike at midnight. You paddle across still lakes at 1 in the morning. You sit on a cliff watching golden light ripple across the water long after the hour when night should have arrived. The landscapes of Scandinavia make this experience even more surreal. In northern Norway, rugged coastlines and deep fjords reflect endless sunlight. In Swedish Lapland, vast forests glow under a sky that never fades. In Finland, thousands of lakes mirror the soft golden horizon, creating a sense of quiet infinity. Everything feels still, peaceful, and expansive. But the midnight sun isn't only about scenery, it changes how people live. Locals stay active late into the night. Children play outside long past bedtime. Cafes remain lively. Life shifts into a slower, more fluid rhythm. Sleep becomes optional. Energy feels endless. And yet, despite the constant daylight, there is calm rather than chaos. Because the light never becomes harsh. Instead, it softens the world. Photographers call it the golden hour that never ends. The sun circles low, creating long shadows and warm tones that transform even simple landscapes into something cinematic. Hiking trails glow. Wooden cabins radiate warmth. Waves shimmer like liquid gold. Moments feel suspended in time. One of the most memorable experiences is simply sitting still, watching the sun hover just above the horizon, feeling the quiet, listening to distant water or wind, and realizing that darkness isn't coming. For many travelers, this creates a deep sense of presence. If you plan to experience the midnight sun, timing matters. The phenomenon is strongest from late May to mid-July. The farther north you go, the longer the sun stays above the horizon. But even slightly south of the Arctic Circle, the nights remain bright enough to feel surreal. Popular places to experience it include Tromsø and the Lofoten Islands in Norway, Abisko National Park in Sweden, and the lake regions of northern Finland. Each offers a different perspective on endless daylight. Coastal cliffs, quiet forests, or glassy waters reflecting the sun. But wherever you go, the experience feels timeless and surprisingly emotional, because something deep inside you expects darkness. When it never comes, the world feels different, slower, wider, more peaceful. The midnight sun is not dramatic like the northern lights. It doesn't flash or dance. Instead, it transforms reality quietly. It stretches time, softens light, and invites you to experience the world in a completely new rhythm. You may arrive curious, but you leave with a feeling that's difficult to describe. A sense that you stepped outside the normal flow of time, and for a moment, the world simply glowed without ever going dark.